Greetings, Skill Incarnate bringing you all the latest indie gaming goodness. Welcome back as we check out another indie game. This time we're looking at Ixion, developed by Bulwark Studios and published by Kasedo Games. I've been looking for a new space strategy game ever since I finished the Homeworld series, and while Ixion doesn't reach that legendary status, it comes damn close, which is high praise indeed. I've been watching the developers working away at this game, and was delighted when they reached out to me to have a look. They even helped me through some build issues I was having with the game, which fares well and shows their reputation as an indie developer. I'm going to show you the first part of the campaign because I think you're really going to like Ixion.
Launch control, we have Tiqqun clearance for shuttle launch. Initiate Stanford protocol.
Flying procedures, check. Guidance go.
EA algorithm online.
Batista safety protocol, check.
Launch control to EMB Charon. All systems are go.
Launch is imminent. Personnel are instructed to evacuate the launch pad.
Minus 30 seconds.
Deflectors out.
Opening matches. 10, 9, 8, 7,
Ignition.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Lift off.
Launch sequence complete. EMB Charon heading for low Earth orbit. Transferring data to inner heaven. Master received.
Keep it rolling.
Visualize approaching near Tiqqun structure.
PVS Tiqqun to EMP share. You have clearance for final approach. EMP share. You have been assigned to Tiqqun Docking Bay. Welcome on board, passengers. Shuttle EMV Sharon is now docked. Sector 1 empowered and pressurized. Munchie decontamination protocol online. Disembarkation authorized. Message to crew members. Welcome on board the Tiqqun, property of Dolus Aerospace Engineering Corporation. You will soon be given your assignments, but until then, please continue to wait near the docking bay. We hope you have a productive voyage, and would like to thank you for your contribution towards humanity's future. Administrator, I am Eden, the personal assistant installed on board the Tiqqun. In accordance with the Munchie Protocol, I have been designed to take into consideration your complete psychological profile so that I may more accurately respond to any needs you may have. My primary purpose is to ensure the Tiqqun's automated systems function efficiently. I will keep track of the tasks that are necessary for you to fulfill your prerogative of reaching Proxima Centauri and carrying out field research, mining operations, manufacturing protocols, and Dolos colonization tests.
The game begins with us as an administrator who's been freshly transferred to Tiqqun Station. Tiqqun is mankind's last hope. The Earth being ravaged by war, famine, and ecological disasters. We're forced to find a new home, and Tiqqun's going to be the means for us to do that. In order for that to happen, we're going to need to make some infrastructure. First connecting roads, and then, with the wonders of modern technology, setting up some robots to do all of the heavy lifting. Next, we're going to need a stockpile. This will allow us to begin processing these resources into something we can use. The robots will begin disassembling these raw materials and will be able to construct things. More importantly, it will free up valuable space for us to begin to construct additional buildings, things like labs, engineering bays, and of course housing for the colonists. Now, this is all we've got in the way of resources. We're going to have to be very careful of how we use them, work efficiently, and make sure that when we can find additional resources that we do. We'll set up trading agreements with various other factions in the game, and also do a bit of mining and exploration to supplement our stockpile. Excellent. So now we have a full storage bay. Don't worry, we'll have plenty of other opportunities to use these other resources as we continue to expand the station. You can see here that you can view the station in its full glorious detail, which I love.
Administrator, I wanted to introduce you to your first tasks personally. I'm Dolos' cryonics lead. Marduk Council member Giovanni Battista. So, let's see. Your first objective will be to begin setting up essential infrastructure aboard the Tiqqun, meeting the environmental conditions that are required to support your crew. Having laid these foundations, you will then oversee the installation of the Vol engine and perform a short test jump to Proxima Centauri. Upon arrival, your research teams will carry out a brief survey of the local space, gather a few rock and coal dust samples, fire up the colonization protocol, begin building the foundations for mankind's future, yada yada yada. And then, you'll come back. Now, in order to achieve this, you'll need to familiarize yourself with the Tiqqun's core functions. It's no big deal. There's the production, stockpiling and distribution of resources, construction, balancing of power output with allocation. Oh, and space exploration, setting out expeditions and all that. Basically, everything needed to establish scientific advancement and harmonious autonomy on board the Tiqqun following the first test of its Vol engine. Eden's gonna display and keep track of your main objectives. Oh, and Administrator, don't let the position go to your head. Veneer has insisted to center Dolos' focus on the Tiqqun. But this mission is just in preparation for our next project, the Protagoras. The Marduk Council worked damn hard to pull this mission together ahead of schedule. So, toe the line, do as you're told, and bring the Tiqqun back in one piece. Leave the grand gestures and saving of mankind from ecosystemic destruction to us, okay? One last word of advice. We don't all think like Veneer Dolos. As of yet, no human law has been officially established amongst the stars. That sounds like an opportunity knocking to me.
So one of the lead members of the Marduk Council, which is the group of They're very rich and powerful humans that authorise the building of the station. These guys all have different needs and different priorities, and sometimes we have to manage their conflicting views as well. Now, one thing I found a little annoying in the game was that there seems to be these sounds of eating food in the background, and it seems it's been deliberate. And I'm not sure if that's to give the feeling of a station with people not having enough time. But yeah, the sounds of food eating isn't me. It's in the audio of the game. You can, however, turn that off, but I'm not sure why they did that. Whether maybe it was just to add to the feeling of a lived-in station or not. It was an interesting decision.
Administrator, I have established a connection with Dolus's lead data scientist, Emma Klein.
Administrator, Mr. Dolos has made it abundantly clear when it comes to security. Given the importance of the Tiqqun, we must have full control over what is happening inside the station. My name is Emma Klein, Dolos's lead data scientist and member of the Marduk Council. My department have just completed final synchronization between Eden and our data treatment tool, the DLS. The DLS, or Data Listening System, is capable of scanning, recording, and parsing exchanges of any kind. The DLS programming that is a part of Eden will filter all data collected and bring to your attention only the most relevant information. It will also provide you with a condensed overview of any situations that may arise and formulate potential future outcomes. It will permit you to give direct orders without having to go through additional unnecessary paperwork. Eden will then take care of everything via their DLS accreditation. As is often the case with tools produced by my department, I think you'll find that once you start using the DLS, you'll never be able to do without it. Oh, and before I let you go ahead and start writing history, Dr. Munchie, our lead medical expert, wanted me to bring to your attention a possible side effect of vol jumping. Whilst there is a correlation between prolonged space travel and the development of early onset dementia, he believes that a vol jump has the potential to accelerate this process, although this is yet to be proven. His recommendation is for you to immediately send any crew members that are exhibiting uncharacteristic or symptomatic behavior to an infirmary, as these facilities are equipped to treat the mind as well as the body. Remember that all of your actions and choices are being recorded by Eden. We are not affiliated with any national or even international organization. The only people that you are answerable to are those of us who sit on the Marduk Council, who represent the collective interests and ambitions of the company.
Administrator, a new request awaits your attention.
So basically, we have almost absolute power, but the Marduk Council is watching our every move. Therefore, we have to, in addition, save the human race, represent the company's interests, and make sure that they're profitable. They're not doing this out of the goodness of their heart. They want to have a sizable profit and a stake in the future of humanity. The colonists are hungry, so we need to set up a mess hall where we can start distributing out the food. Much like Frospunk, from which this game takes some inspiration, there are different events and you have to try and keep the people happy. Sometimes you have to make some difficult decisions. But in this case, all we have to do is set up a way for the people to eat. A mess hall will serve our purposes nicely. And I think here will... yeah, I'll leave this space for the stockpiles and we'll place the mess hall here. Yeah, here will be good. Connected with the road. And Bob's your uncle. Now the next thing we're going to need to worry about is distributing the food. Because this is raw food here. 60 food is not going to last very long. We've got quite a few, almost 100 colonists on the station, so we need to start thinking about how we're going to get more. Thankfully, there are a number of other companies and trading partners we can talk to, and we can also do a bit of exploration to find some more. with our little robots busily building the mess hall, we can start replenishing our stores. Excellent. So now the people will be happy, but we're going to need a way to get this food to the mess hall. So we're going to need to construct an additional stockpile. And this stockpile is going to store food. The next thing we're going to want to do is start worrying about housing. Because this is basically not a very friendly environment for people to sleep in with all of the noise.
I have an incoming transmission from Marduk Council member Henry Bargeville.
Let's see what our friends at the Marduk Council want next.
Administrator, what a wonderful day to embrace our fate, don't you think? I am Henri Bargeville, writer, philosopher, lobbyist, but most of all member of the Marduk Council. I have taken the liberty of personally arranging an exchange out of courtesy with the Oceanabe, a ship in high orbit belonging to one of our commercial allies, the Ashtongites. Even though they are a small organization, the Ashtongites are important partners who share the same pragmatic, moralistic, and spiritual outlook as we do. The Oceanabe will provide us with a source of food while carrying out the Tiqqun's initial testing. By making it the first exclusive trade partner of the Tiqqun, we will demonstrate to our long-term allies that Dolos wishes for them to share in our successes. Please assign a cargo ship so that we can check the trade routines. Administrator, trust in genetic connectors. Self-similar space will reveal the pattern.
So our first trade partner is willing to provide a bit of food. But for now we have to worry about getting some housing. Now what we can do is pause and plan the game at any time. For now we need housing, so I'm going to set up some homes. Crew quarters are pretty bulky, so we need to make sure that, and also that we can group them together. It always helps to group like buildings together. They have to be connected via a road, so let's do that. Beautiful. So I think with 4 homes at being able to house 50 people each, that's going to get 60 people homed, but we're going to need more. So what we're going to do is we're going to start clearing out here, and we can start using these additional resources and clearing ourselves a bit of space. The robots will get busy, and while we're doing that we can also begin worrying about construction of our trade ship. A cargo ship first for getting more food. And we're going to need some different types of metal. Here we go. So we're going to need yet another storage. Another stockpile. You can see that these resources, while they looked quite substantial at the start, we're burning through them at a rather frightening rate. In fact, we only have enough here to do the bare minimum to get us to the next jump. And you'll find that's a running theme in the game. It's all about resource management. You're getting the most you can out of every single resource that you find, taking advantage of every single opportunity to get more. We're already starting to run low, so we're going to start emptying all of the surrounding resources to refill our stockpile and build additional homes. But now you can see some of the people are not homeless. Now eventually we're going to have to upgrade this accommodation. It's essentially jamming everyone inside slums, but it's going to keep people alive. Excellent. So we now have homes for most of the people. Next thing is to get some roads going, and then we can start clearing this and placing some more houses down. You can see now that the roads are now ensuring that we can here we go, and we've got another stockpile ready to go for polymer. So we've now got food, metal and polymers, all of the basic materials we're going to need. The robots work at a rapid pace. This is going to get our base up and running very, very quick. They remind me of the automatons in Frospunk. Excellent. So now we've got a little bit of extra room. We can remove these old roads, and we can start dropping down some additional homes. For our people. That ought to keep the people happy. And our ship will ensure that more food will keep everybody fed. They're really starting to struggle for materials now. You can see we're burning through them at a pretty frightening rate. Excellent. So the cargo ship is constructed. The next one on the chopping block is the side ship. And what we can now do is go to our first ever cargo ship and give it the order to get food. We're going to trade for food. I think this one's going to be a freebie. Our friends at the Usanabi are going to give us some food for nothing. in exchange for our help. Excellent. So now everybody has a home, and all we now need to do is worry about getting our science ship up so we can begin to start exploring to get some scientific knowledge and also to mark areas that we might be able to mine for more resources. We're really starting to burn through these stockpiles. And eventually we're going to have to start running roads up to here to begin processing these resources. Now we can speed things up a little bit as we wait. We can't process any more materials, we don't have any. But you can see at the bottom, we've got some people who are a bit hungry. And we've got some starving people. Now the next thing we need to do is to send our science ship to the moon. Because we've actually got a lunar base out there.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
The base is out of commission. Auxiliary systems are operational and can be used to restore power. So we can exploit the security vulnerability, basically hack into the systems and gather whatever scientific data we can take with us. So we're absolutely going to do that. And the Ushinabi is... yeah, we're going to bring back some more food, which is desperately needed right now. We've burned through all of our food stockpile. We've got a bit in storage, but that's going to disappear soon. And hopefully we'll see the amount of starving people go down over time. The moon event should allow us to gather some scientific data that we can use for research.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Excellent. It's 10 scientific knowledge. Now we can pull the base apart for the raw materials. Next thing we need to worry about is a trip to Mars. We're not going to be able to do that until the science ship finishes what it's doing. If we head back to the colony, people still hungry.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Ah, there we go. So now with the completion of the first task, we've gathered 30 metal, 90 scientific knowledge. We definitely want that. We're going to use that to be able to begin research on some of the advanced systems of the ship, including our faster than light engine. So we're going to have to wait for that data to be gathered. And we're going to check back at home. People are no longer hungry. That's good. We've done the right thing. Now, we can build a mining ship. I'm going to hold off on that for now because resources are pretty tight and we haven't found any sites for mining yet. Okay, people aren't starving anymore. That's very good. We've got food to everybody. Everyone's happy. Our trust is excellent, 84%, and the hull integrity is perfect. Very good, very good. So the next thing we're going to want to do is send our science ship over to Mars. Now the Ushinabi we should now have some additional storage of food. No? It's probably going to take some time for the ship to unload.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
So we've got a potential ally here, one of our competitors. It appears they're missing the materials to repair a fault in their oxygen supply. We could get some resources. And we could research, we could repair it in exchange for scientific data, and I think that is far more useful for us. Excellent. So now with our other ship in transit, we'll be able to fix that fault up, and then we'll get some more scientific data that we can use. While we wait, we're going to build ourselves a Tekka lab. Now this thing is, it's damn big, so we're going to have to... we're probably going to have to build it down here.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Excellent. So by helping our new friends, we've got some scientific knowledge. We only had to use a bit of our resources, which I think was a good trade. What's happening though is our power usage is going up. And power is of course going to be a prime concern for the ship, but I mean we're in space, so we can build some solar arrays, which we're going to do shortly. Once I complete work on the research bay. And our cargo ship is now back on food gathering effort. And we'll have our research bay up and running in a few moments. Then we can start working on researching our Vol engine, which will give us our faster than light jump ability, and then we can start moving our colonists to the next section, or at least preparing for the Earth's colonists to move.
I have an incoming transmission from Bolus's head of medicine, Dr. Abhinav Munshi.
Greetings, Administrator. I'm Dr. Abhinav Munshi, Dolo's expert in compartmentalism and medicine, and a member of the Marduk Council. I'm glad to finally meet you. even in this digital manner. Your psychological test results were quite impressive. My friend and colleague Philip Stanford couldn't be here today, so I will take the role of introducing you to the final stages of the Vol engine integration. Before we get into that, however, we would like you to complete the testing station's exploration and enhancement capabilities. You'll then be able to begin researching the EVA airlock and assess its compatibility with the Tiqqun's core systems. I hope that the work of our team will ensure that you are equipped to deal with most situations you encounter up there. Before I leave you, Stanford would like me to remind you that space is a far less fanciful and forgiving environment than science fiction would have us believe. It would be wise to remember that.
So on that note, we're going to end the video. We have a lot more work to do, about another hour or two before we can make the first jump. And if you would like to see a part 2 to this game, I would love to continue showing it. I've really been enjoying the game, and I think that you guys should definitely check it out if you're a fan of games like Homeworld. It's a fantastic game, and it really shows that the indie gaming scene is still thriving. I think this developer will go on and do great things, and I hope you join me next time when we check out another indie game. Until then, Skill Incarnate, out.